out, we look in. Come as you are.
Hi, my name is Kalie Martin, and I will be teaching a fusion class, 45 minutes for Get Hot Yoga Online. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have a block or a strap, towel with you, feel free to put that near your mat, and we can get started. We'll get started in Shavasana, lying on your mat, toes to the front and head toward the back. We'll start by just settling into our breath, settling into the space, taking time to really connect with your breath, and letting go of anything that you might be holding on to right now. Knowing that these next 45 minutes will be just for you, trying to block out anything that's on your mind. We'll start to connect our breath as one. Take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale, HA. One more time. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, HA. Just letting go. Starting with wind removing pose, we'll inhale the right knee toward the shoulder, taking a 10-finger grip about 2 inches below the knee, pulling the knee down to the shoulder. So trying to avoid the rib cage, massaging the ascending colon. Taking an inhale, exhale, squeeze. We can start to activate the left leg by flexing the toes to the nose. This will create more of a range of mobility in your right hip. So taking another inhale through the nose. This time seal the lips, breathe out the nose. Ujjayi breath, and releasing that right leg long. Inhaling the left knee toward the shoulder. Same grip, pull the knee down to the shoulder, avoiding the rib cage here. Finding compression in the descending colon. Slight pinch in the hip is okay, should not be painful. Take an inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Activating the right leg this time, right foot flexes toes to nose. Another inhale. Exhale, squeeze. And release that leg long. This time, both knees come up to the chest, grabbing opposite elbows, wrists, or fingertips, pulling the knees firmly to the chest, massaging transverse colon. Trying to keep the spine long on the mat, so even the low back. So as we inhale, exhale, pull the knees in, push the tailbone down to the ground. One more time, inhale. Exhale, pull knees in, push tailbone down. Awesome job, release those legs long. Take a moment. And we'll grab our knees back again. Starting to rock and roll lengthwise on the mat, front to back. Maybe a few times, 2 to 3. Coming up, flipping around to tabletop. So our shoulders are stacked over the wrists, hips over the knees. Taking a few cat-cows to start out our practice. Inhale, cow pose, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, cat, press the mat away, round the spine. Inhale, cow. Try to tip the tailbone to the sky, find length across collarbones. Exhale, press the mat away, round the back. Try to drop the neck. Take this a few more times, your own breath cycle. So that could be flowing slower or faster than I was calling. Take this time to warm up your body for the practice. So that could also mean that you're taking wider hip circles, or taking the hips left to right. Trying to continue to connect your breath with your movement. Taking 2 more breath cycles here. Once you've reached your final cycle, we'll meet back in our strong tabletop. Inhale the right arm high up to the sky, twist open. Exhale, thread the needle, right arm under the left. Right ear or the forehead hits the mat. So finding a stretch here for the right arm, the right shoulder, options for the left arm so the elbow could stay bent, or crawl the fingertips forward, straightening the left arm. Other option, take a half bind with
your top arm. Always remembering that if you've taken an option that's no longer serving you, to go right back to the previous one. In my classes, I like to offer lots of modifications as well as places to go deeper in your practice. Taking the left hand back to the mat for support. Inhale, right arm high up to the sky, twist open. Exhale, hand hits the mat, tabletop. Switching that out, left arm high up to the sky. Thread the needle, left arm under the right, left ear or forehead hits the mat. Taking those same options, so hand stays where it is, maybe crawl fingertips forward or take that half bind. Trying to breathe into the length that you're creating on the left arm and left shoulder. Right hand comes back to the mat. Inhale, left arm twist, open up to the sky. Left hand hits the mat. Let's press back, child's pose, knees wide, big toes to touch, forehead hits the mat. Take time here, maybe rock and roll this forehead side to side. Continuing with our Ujjayi breath, the breath that carries us through our practice. We'll connect our breath, take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, seal the lips, breathing out the nose, Ujjayi breath. Let the hips settle back down to the heels. One more time, this time activating your child's pose. So crawling the fingers toward the front of your mat, lift the elbows up, take an inhale. Exhale, seal lips, keep elbows lifted, press firmly into the mat. Last time, big inhale. Tuck the toes, lift hips, exhale to downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Maybe you're pedaling the feet out, moving heels left to right, right to left. Taking time to align our down dog. So in my classes, I like to also really focus on the alignment from the ground up. So we'll go to our hands, making sure they're shoulder width distance, pinkies to the outer edge of the mat, so that's spread pretty wide on your mat. The feet are hips width distance, so just about 2 fists between the feet. From here, we tuck the chest back to the thighs. Awesome job. Take a big inhale. Exhale, press your chest back to thighs, creating that upside down V. One more inhale. As you exhale, slowly walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Hands to feet, landing in ragdoll. Feet are hips width distance. Knees bent generously, chest drapes over the thighs. Allow the knees to bend here to make this more of an opening for the low back, not so much getting into the hamstrings just yet. You could sway back and forth. You could grab opposite elbows or rest the hands on the mat or a block. Try to let the neck and head hang down. You could even shake it out, nodding yes, shaking no, and one more time for yes. We'll take an inhale. Exhale to release your hands, toe heel the feet to touch, and slowly roll to stand. Could have soft knees. Neck is the last to reach the top. Once you reach the top, we'll take our shoulders up, back, and down, building our strong Tadasana mountain pose. So our feet are toe heel to touch. The tailbone tucks down, the chest is proud, and the shoulders are back. Take an inhale, circle sweep. Exhale, heart center. Letting go. One more time, big breath. Exhale, heart center. Taking a moment, maybe setting an intention for your practice. Feel free to close the eyes if you feel safe to do so. An intention could be a mindset that you'd like to leave with today. It is a great way to focus your practice and building community among each one of us. Once you have your intention, we'll seal it with our community breath. Taking first thumbs to forehead, sealing the truth of each of our intentions. Big breath, inhale, circle sweep. We go all the way down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, so palms to shins or the mat. We just make sure that our back is super flat, so not a round or a dip. And fold, release. 2 more times. Half lift. Try to roll the weight to the balls of your feet. Ears extend away from the shoulders and fold. Last time. Half lift. Plant the hands, walk forward, high push up and hold. So our shoulders are stacked over wrists. Feet are strong like you're standing on the back wall. And the belly comes into the spine. We have a strong core. So feel free to keep your high push-up high like this or take your knees down for modification. Either way, great choice. We hold and breathe, gazing just down between the hands. Let's try to puff up this space between your shoulder blade. Awesome job. Breathe here, hold 3. Keep breathing for 2. Then we shift forward, gaze forward, lower all the way down, elbows straight back, chin, chest, belly hits the mat, hands walk back by the low ribs. Zip the legs together, tops of the feet are glued to the mat, nose hits the mat, exhale the air. Inhale, chest lifts, cobra. Strong core, strong legs. Try to press the tops of the feet firmly into the mat and release. 2 more times. Inhale, cobra. Strong legs and release. This last time, take your cobra or upward facing dog, your choice. Then lift hips or bend through your knees to downward facing dog. So that's our modified flow. So feel free to always go through your cobra and then bend your knees to come to down dog if that's what works for your body. Or we lift hips to downward facing dog. Let's ripple forward back to our high push-up. So shoulders over wrists, core strong and engaged, and puffing up that space between shoulder blades. Take the knees down if you'd like. We'll go through 3 chaturanga push-ups. So first, shift forward, lower halfway down, elbows are tight in by the ribs. Press up, push up. Great job. Second time, halfway down, pause, and press up, push up. Last time, halfway down. Then take your cobra or swoop, upward facing dog. Lift hips, downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Maybe pedal out the feet. And we'll all connect our breath. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, HA. Awesome job. One more time. Inhale. This time, seal the lips. Ujjayi breath. Let go. We'll flow that sun salutation A. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, step or hop, top of mat. Halfway lift, inhale, fold, exhale. Circle sweep, big breath, standing tall. Going all the way down, fold deeply. Halfway lift, plant the hands, take your flow, so step or shoot back, high push up through low or all the way down. Cobra or up dog, lift hips, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Exhale, stay, press your chest to thighs. One more time for our warm-up. Inhale, bend knees, gaze forward, step or hop, top of mat. Half lift, fold. Circle sweep, big breath. All the way down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, plant the hands, take your flow, step or shoot back. High push up through low. Engage your core to lift hips, downward facing dog. Big inhale. Exhale, stay, press the chest to thighs. Inhale, right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip, taking ankle circles, maybe wiggle the toes. Try to keep the shoulders square and the knee goes higher. Then square the hip, leg goes long. Right knee shifts forward, right elbow, pause. Try to find a connection. You're in a high push-up. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Cross the body, right knee, left elbow, pause. Inhale, lift it high. Knee to nose. Plant the foot, warrior 1, rise. So for warrior 1, front toes face forward, back foot's flat on the mat, and our knees just above the ankle. Take an inhale, maybe lift your gaze. Exhale, open up, warrior 2. Strong, long arms. Our front knees over ankle, and we're opening the knee toward pinky toes. Side ankle, right elbow, right knee. So feel free, stay here, gazing maybe at the top hand if that's okay with your neck.
Really engage your right inner thigh, so try not to grip the mat with your front toes, or take a half bind. Breathing through it, engaging your core. That back leg is strong, muscle to bone. Then if you've taken the bind, the top arm comes high, we lift back to our side angle. This time, Vinyasa triangle. Straighten the leg, pivot the hips back, reach forward and come down. Feel free to use a block behind your right ankle. So we're reaching our arms in opposite directions and just a micro bend in the front knee. Then we'll take a twist. So our left hand comes down, right arm high. Twisting your triangle. Top arm comes down, pyramid pose. So we'll step the back foot up. Front toes still face forward. The goal is nose or forehead to knee. So feel free to bend your knee as much as necessary to connect your nose to knee. We can also tuck the chin to the chest, breathing through that compression. Jalandhara Bandha or chin lock. Stimulating the thyroid and boosting immunity. We can square the hips by gently pulling the right hip back as the left hip comes forward. Take one more breath cycle here. Inhale. Staying for the exhale. Then we'll go revolved half moon. So left hand block or mat, left leg lifts. The toes are pointed down toward the mat, the foot is flexed. The right hand could be at the low back, maybe out to the side. The full expression would be the top arm going toward the sky. Try to lift the chest, hold. Then top arm down, forward fold, left foot meets right. Halfway lift, and just fold. Circle sweep, big breath, standing tall. Chair pose, sit low. Bringing the hands to heart center. We shift the weight back to the heels. Trust your legs, sit a little lower. Press the palms firmly together. Activate the core. Breathe here and hold. Take an inhale. From a long spine, twist right. Left elbow over right knee or thigh. Pressing palms together, take a peek at the knees, make sure they're in line. Maybe bumping the left knee back in line or right. Stay here or open the arms, your choice. And if you've opened arms, bringing them back together. Forward face your chair, stay for the inhale. Fold, exhale. Let's toe heel the feet hips width distance. Tooth these fingers, grab the big toes. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull on the toes, bring your elbows wide, bring the head down to the mat. So this is where we're starting to get into the backs of our legs, our hamstrings. So we pull and really use your bicep strength here. Bring the head down. Try to let the neck hang heavy and pull. One more inhale to pull. Exhale, release that bind, toe heel feet to touch. Halfway lift, forward fold. Circle sweep, big breath. Chair pose, sitting low. Engage the core, slightly tuck the tailbone down. Bring hands heart center. Shift the weight back to the heels. Take an inhale. Twist left, right elbow over left knee or thigh. This time bumping the right knee back in line. Staying here, pressing your palms together or open the arms. Breathing through it. Hands come back together. Forward face, stay for an inhale. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift. Forward fold, exhale, toe heel feet hips width distance or wider. Taking gorilla pose this time. Stepping on the palms of the hands with soles of feet. Maybe walking the toes all the way to the wrists. Again, letting the head hang down. Try not to hold any tension through the neck or shoulders. You could play around with your weight here, maybe seeing if you could switch the weight toward balls of feet.
Then we'll release the bind. Plant the hands shoulder width distance, crow pose, Bakasana. So if you know where you're going, go for it. I'll cue you through it. So we'll take our hands shoulder width distance. Spread the 10 fingers super wide. Then come to the balls of your feet. Place the knees high up into the triceps, almost up into your armpits if you can. I'll go side view. So all the way up into the armpits. Then shift forward, gaze forward. Maybe you're just lifting a toe and placing that toe back, and that's awesome. Maybe you're lifting another toe and placing that toe back. One day, maybe both toes lift. So we really gaze forward, trust yourself, engage your core, and maybe fly. Awesome job. Taking a step or shoot back if you'd like, going through your flow, or just meeting in a downward facing dog. Take a breath cycle or two here. Let that go. Always remembering that our yoga practice is just that, a yoga practice, not a perfection. Meeting ourselves where we are each day on our mat. We'll continue with the next side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. Taking those ankle circles, maybe wiggling the toes. Then we'll square the left leg is long, left knee, left elbow, shift forward, pause. Inhale, lift it high, cross the body, right elbow, pause. Inhale, lift, knee to nose around the spine, plant it, warrior one, rise. Getting strong and stable in your warrior, front toes are forward, knee over ankle. Then we open, warrior two. So we have heel to arch alignment in the feet, the front knee opens toward pinky toes. Pinky toe. Reach the arms long and strong, then tilt, Hatha triangle or side angle. The arms reach opposite directions, so really reach that top hand high. Engage your left inner thigh. Stay here or take a half bind. If you're in the bind, we're rolling our shoulder up toward the sky. Binds meet with our top arm high. We lift out of it. Coming to Vinyasa triangle. Straighten the leg, bump the hips back, reach forward, left hand down. Feel free to use your block. Reaching the arms opposite directions. Try to energetically think about your thighs, your inner thighs, pull them together without moving your feet. Then twist, right hand down, left arm high. Awesome job. Left arm down, pyramid pose. Step the back foot up. Front toes face forward. So feel free, you could use a block in this pose as well, if you'd like. Bending the knee as much as necessary to connect your nose or forehead to the knee. This time we can square the hips by pulling the left hip back, the right hip forward. And again, trying to breathe through that compression of chin to chest. Take a deep breath, inhale. Stay for the exhale. Then revolved half moon, right hand to the block or mat. Right leg lifts, toes face the ground. Foot is flexed, leg is lifting. Left arm, again, could be to the side, resting low back, or all the way open to the sky. Let's try to lift our chest, inhale. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift. And just fold. Let's take a circle sweep, big breath, arms high. And coming the hands down to Tadasana. So that completes the flow portion of our class. And we'll go through a few Hatha standing postures. Starting with Hatha chair, Utkatasana. Stepping the right foot out about 6 inches. The arms go straight toward the front of your room. The fingers come in toward one another. So we first make sure our feet are truly parallel, toes facing forward. Pull the shoulders up, back, down. Take an inhale, engage core. Exhale, chair pose, sit low. Try to shift the weight back to your heels. Engage your core. Reach your fingers forward. Hold. Act like you're pressing down the air away from your arms. Super strong arms. This pose has 3 phases, so we'll try to keep our arms where they are for all 3 phases. Keep sitting low and breathing through it. Keep the core engaged. One more inhale. Exhale, stay. Inhale, press through your heels, rise. Try to keep the arms where they are. Trust yourself. Heels high, balls of feet. So this pose is about keeping the heels high. So we'll bend the knees and sit low, but try not to compromise the heel height. So if that means you're staying high like myself, perfectly fine. Keeping your shoulders over hips, maybe you're going down further, as long as you're keeping the heels as high as you can. We engage the core as we sit low, pushing your edge. Breathe and hold. Let's all try to lift right heel and lift left to meet it and hold. Engage your core, rise slowly. Heels down, arms stay where they are. Last phase, knees squeeze in tight, up 1 or 2 inches on the heels. Then squeeze the knees in, maybe a slight pigeon toe of the feet. Take an inhale, sit low. Squeeze the knees in. Keep the spine long as you lower down. Maybe staying high, more like myself, or going all the way down till your thighs are parallel to the mat. If you have healthy knees, feel free to take a few bounces. On the 3rd, slower than you want, see how slow you can go, rise. Great job, knees apart, heels down, arms down. Feel free to take a sip of water if you'd like. I need to take a little sip. We'll go on with a few more Hatha standing postures. Eagle pose, Garudasana. So we'll start in our Tadasana, toe heel the feet to touch, engage the core, shoulders back. Big breath. Right arm under the left. So we have our bind or a shoulder grab, your choice with the right arm under. Find chair pose, sit low. Shift the weight to the left leg. Identify the right and wrap it around. So options could be kickstanded, maybe a half bind or full. So take your choice and squeeze. So we're squeezing the thighs, engaging the core, squeezing the arms together, elbows down. If you have both of the binds, maybe you're working on getting knees in line with elbows. So knees toward the right, getting them in line. Let's all take a breath cycle. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Sit low, squeeze. Inhale, unwrap. Fly the arms high. Right into the next side. Left arm under or your shoulder grab. Chair pose. Shift the weight, right leg, identify left. Wrap it around. Taking your version of eagle, squeezing the body tight. So we're trying to still keep our shoulders over hips, so a long spine, but the lower half of the body, we're sitting low. Squeeze tight, squeeze thighs, gauge core, squeeze arms. Take an inhale, exhale, stay and squeeze. Inhale, unwrap, fly it high. And we'll end Tadasana, arms by sides. Let's do, going on with our Hatha postures, standing head to knee, Dandayamana Janu Shirsasana. This pose also goes in phases. Feel free to stop wherever it works for you. Shifting the weight, left leg, picking up the right. Keeping shoulders back, core engaged. Try to flex your right foot, toes to nose. Knee is hip height. So feel free, stay right here, work on your balance and your standing leg. Or 10-finger grip, including thumbs, under the sole of the foot, toward the ball. So if you're working on your bind, stay here, or stand a little taller. Work on your bind here, or we prepare for the kick out. We kick the foot forward. So go to whichever part works for your body. So we're flexing the foot. If you're kicking forward, we're really kicking through the heel. If the arms and legs are straight, we bend elbows to knees, full expression, nose to knee. Hold and breathe for 3. Great job staying wherever you are for 2.
Slowly come out, just the way you came in. Awesome job. Letting that go. Next side, shifting the weight, right leg, picking up the left. Knee is hip height, flex the left foot, toes toward nose. Stay with shoulders back, core engaged, or take your pose. 10-finger grip under the sole of the foot toward the ball. Stay here or stand a bit taller, lifting knee to shoulder. This prepares you for the kick out. Stay or kick. If our foot is kicked forward, we're trying to keep our foot just out from the hip, so not above or below that hip. Press through your heel. Maybe bend elbows to shins. Nose to knee is full expression. Hold and breathe. Hold 3, 2, slowly come out. Awesome job. Arms by sides. 2 more standing postures. Standing bow pulling pose is next. Big breath. Right elbow, right hip. Bend the right knee, reach around, grab the inside of the foot. Bring the knees back to touch. Flip your palm. Great place to stay, work on this quad stretch. Or reach tall and kick. Kick straight back. Keep kicking as hard as you can into your back hand. Maybe you're staying high, you are still in the pose. Or you kick so hard that you hinge down, you see the toe overhead, and you reach the arm forward. Full expression, chin grazes the shoulder. Stand strong on your left leg. The harder you kick, the easier you will be able to stand. Kick and hold 3. Reach 2. Slowly come out. Awesome job. Windmill the arm down. Let that side go. Preparing for the next side. Big breath, circle sweep. Left elbow, left hip. Bend the left knee. Grab inside of your foot. Knees to touch. Flip your palm. Stay or take your pose. Kick straight back and reach. Going to your full expression. Standing strong on your right leg. Breathe through it. Reach the hand to the mirror, to the front of your room, and kick straight back. Hold 3. Focus 2. Slowly come out. Windmill the arm, binding Tadasana. Great job. So we'll do one more standing posture, tree pose. So feel free to take this lying on the back also if you like. Great option. If you're taking it standing, we'll shift the weight left leg. Right leg, you could take Vinyasa or Hatha tree. For Vinyasa, we could kick stand, shin, or inner thigh, anywhere but the knee joint. For Hatha, heel high on the hip, and slowly release the knee down without pushing. One or both hands is at heart center. Using this as our standing meditation. Hatha trees, feel free to take toe stand if that's in your practice. For toe stand, you hinge first at the hips, bringing the hands to the mat. Then begin to bend your standing leg. Coming down. Lift the heel so you're on the ball of the foot. Your spine is straight, shoulders are stacked over the hips, and you could be balancing with your fingertips, totally fine. Or maybe you bring one hand or both to heart center. You could also grow your tree branches if that serves your practice. And toe stands taking your time, meeting back with trees. We'll all bring our hands back toward heart center, and the knee comes gently down, finding Tadasana. Next side, last side. Shift weight, right foot. Taking your tree pose of choice, whatever works for your body. one hand or both at heart center, and taking toe stand from Hatha tree, if you would like. Trying to even out your sides, but being okay if it doesn't quite work on the other side. Growing your tree branches as well, if that works for you. Keeping the core engaged. Toe stands, take your time. You could also challenge balance, maybe gazing toward the top of your room. Toe stands meeting back with trees. And hands come toward heart center, bringing the knee slowly down, and Tadasana. Awesome job. We'll meet, we can take a sip of water if you'd like, and we'll meet in our child's pose, knees wide, big toes to touch, forehead hitting the mat. Take time here to come back to your breath, trying to stay present in this moment. So just focusing on each inhale and exhale. Trying to leave the to-do list for the day, anything that's on your mind, leaving that outside the room. Trying to continue to focus on your self-care. So we'll start to wind down our practice. Going to half pigeon. So we'll tuck the toes, lift hips to our downward facing dog. If half pigeon is, if you like to do it reclined, totally fine as well. I'll be showing it in the traditional way. So we'll take the right leg, lift the right leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe take movement if you'd like. Then square the hip, the leg is long, and step it through the right knee to the right wrist. And if you're on your back, you would have, I can show you from the side version, you would have your right ankle over the left knee or thigh. Staying here, or pulling the left knee in, taking a 10-finger grip behind the left thigh. And you would be pulling your thigh in to the chest. So for our other half pigeons, you could stay high and keep it more of a back bend, or come down to forearms. You could come down to a block, maybe 2 fists, forehead in the fists. Whatever works for you here. We'll take several breaths here to allow your hips to sink down to the mat and allow your body to open. Also an option, if you have a king pigeon that you are working on, you could work on that as well. For our king pigeon, we would bend the back knee, reaching around, grabbing for the top of the foot. If you have the top of the foot, you could work all the way, work the foot into your elbow crease, staying there, or taking the right arm overhead, clasping fingers behind. As you can see, I'm not showing this. It's not quite in my body, but maybe it's in yours. Breathe through it, then king pigeons, gently making your way out. If you're down on the forearms, making your way up. Then you could go to the other side, just rolling over or coming through your down dog, whatever works for you. If you're coming through down dog, you could lift the right leg and then place it back down. And I'll let you go through to your other side, lifting the left, doing whatever feels good. Finding your half pigeon. Taking the same amount of breaths here. So trying to even out both sides. So that might mean staying tall for a little bit, going down to the mat. Try to, with every inhale, find length in your body. As you exhale, trying to release down into the posture, letting the hips sink.
Another option for pigeons, since you're at home too, would be grabbing a pillow or a blanket, and you could put it underneath your thigh there so that you could allow the body to settle down. Coming up to the hands if you'd like to work your king pigeon, taking your time. Again, just trying to even out the sides, doing what feels good for you. Taking 2 more breath cycles here. Then wherever you are, we'll slowly release. Then if you'd like to go through your down dog again, feel free, or just roll over, meeting in a seat. Take your time, maybe grab a sip of water on the way, and then we'll meet on the back. So we're on our backs, and we'll just have let's just take Shavasana. So we'll have our arms and legs long. Finding rest here. Then bringing the knees into the chest, taking them, the legs up the wall, Viparita Karani. So since you are at home, this is a great pose to do actually by a wall. So you could scoot up to your wall, maybe place pillows underneath your hips. This could be a great place to even end your practice and keep your feet up the wall for several minutes. It's a great pose to do before bedtime for insomnia. So just feel free to hang out here and enjoy your legs up the wall pose. For the rest of us, we will meet in happy baby. So knees wide, soles of the feet to the sky. So trying to prioritize the low back here. So that might mean grabbing your inner thighs, shins, or soles of the feet, staying still or rocking side to side. Whatever feels good for you. You could also play around with straightening one leg and maybe straightening the other. And then from our happy baby, bringing our knees in, giving them a big hug. Maybe rolling around in the sacrum, taking clockwise or counterclockwise circles. And we'll end our practice full circle with our wind removing pose. So release the left leg long, keeping a hold of the right knee, pulling the right knee into the shoulder. Seeing if it maybe feels different in the end of class than it did in the beginning. So feel free to stay here, keep squeezing, or let's take an inhale. Exhale, squeeze, or take supine twist. Guiding the knee across the body. The right arm could go to a T, maybe gazing right or gazing to the ceiling. Option for the right big toe to tuck behind the left knee. And we'll slowly bring our right knee back towards center, give it a tug. Let's grab both knees, realign the sacrum, then release your right leg long. Left knee stays pulled in towards shoulder, avoid the rib cage. So give it a squeeze, stay here, or take your supine twist. Guiding the left knee across the body. This time left arm could go to a T, gazing left or to the ceiling. Trying again to stay present here toward the end of our class, focusing on your inhales and exhales. A mantra I sometimes use if I'm starting, my thoughts are getting away. Inhaling, I am now. Exhaling, I am here.
So let's inhale left knee back to the center. Grab both knees, pull them in. So grabbing opposite elbows, wrists, or fingertips, and pulling the knees firmly in. This time curl up into the smallest ball of class, bringing forehead to knees. Take a big inhale, clench everything tight. Exhale to your Shavasana. Arms and legs go long. Thank you so much for joining me for this fusion practice. Take as long as you'd like in your Shavasana. Let the practice settle. Sometimes Shavasana is the easiest pose to get in and the hardest to stay in. So I challenge you to really stay within your Shavasana for a few minutes. Thank you again. The light in me sees, honors, and respects the light in each of you. Namaste.